If you feel the need to explain yourself before you act, you are not exercising freedom. You are managing permission. If you feel guilt when you choose yourself, if your body tightens when you say no, if you rehearse explanations for decisions that do not require justification, that response is not intuition. It is conditioning. Most women are not struggling because they lack confidence. They are struggling because they are living inside psychological structures they never consented to. This is not about motivation. It is not about empowerment. It is not about becoming better. It is about naming what was installed so early. It now feels like your personality, because what remains unnamed continues to rule silently. There is a psychological pattern that governs the internal lives of many women. I call it the permission complex. It is the unconscious need to ask, to soften, to explain, to justify, before taking up space. Not because you are uncertain, but because your nervous system learned that autonomy had to be negotiated. Permission was never verbal. No one said you were not allowed to choose yourself. Permission was communicated through tone, through withdrawal, through disappointment, through emotional consequences. Approval felt like safety. Disapproval felt like danger. So your system adapted. You learned to anticipate, to read the room, to shrink before conflict arrived. This is not weakness. This is intelligence under constraint. But adaptation becomes a cage when the environment changes and the body never updates the rule. Most people believe conditioning happens through beliefs. It does not. Conditioning happens before language. It happens in the nervous system, in the body, in the implicit memory of safety and threat. As a child, you did not analyze situations. You felt them. You learned which version of yourself kept connection intact. So you became agreeable, flexible, emotionally available. Not because it was virtuous, but because it worked. Later, this survival intelligence was renamed personality. I am just empathetic. I am just considerate. I do not like conflict. But what if that is not preference? What if it is conditioning that never stood down after the threat passed? Guilt is not morality. Guilt is a physiological response that appears when you violate a learned rule of belonging. It shows up as tightness, as hesitation, as an internal voice asking, if this is allowed. That voice is not conscience. It is obedience remembering itself. A sovereign woman does not eliminate guilt. She stops treating it as an authority. She understands that discomfort often accompanies autonomy. That silence does not mean wrongdoing. That not explaining is not cruelty. Freedom does not feel safe at first. It feels unfamiliar. The most effective control systems do not rely on punishment. They rely on identity. The good woman is not a compliment. It is a behavioral contract. Be kind, be patient, be understanding, and above all, be explainable. A woman who explains herself is easy to manage. A woman who does not is labeled difficult, cold, or selfish. These labels are not observations. They are warnings. They exist to pull women back into legibility. Deprogramming is not adding confidence. It is removing false authority. It is recognizing that not every internal signal deserves obedience. That fear does not equal danger. That guilt does not equal wrongdoing. It is the withdrawal from automatic self-justification. Sovereignty begins where explanation ends. Some of you listening now feel unsettled, not offended. Unsettled. That feeling is recognition. This work is not for everyone. It never was. Some women seek reassurance. Others seek release. Choose accordingly.